abstract review committee that I'll talk about in a few slides. So these positions, the individuals that will take those over, they won't officially start until the fall of 2021, or essentially after the world meeting in 2021. But we wanted to have this group on board just so that there's a little bit of a transition period with the folks who are currently in those positions. And so if there's any, we hope there's lots of interest, and if there's anyone that hasn't been on the executive committee in the past, that they have a little bit of time just to get up to speed, on their respective roles and responsibilities. Okay, so just, again, obviously our meeting was canceled because of the pandemic, but I just quickly wanted to give everyone an update on the meeting, or just speak briefly on that. I mean, I think we were so excited because there was a record number of submissions for this meeting. We had over 50 submissions. This was a great problem that we had. We were looking for how we were going to run our poster session because there was, only a limited number of podium presentations that we could do. We're super excited about this. I think this is representative of the growth of our society and of minimally invasive surgery worldwide. It's truly an international representation. We had abstracts from all over the world, and we hope this is going to continue in the future. Just a few things to report from this meeting. After a little bit of a dodgy time, we did get all of the deposit returned to us. We didn't have any financial burden encountered. One thing to consider moving forward is meeting insurance. I know some of the past presidents have at least discussed this. Something to consider for us. It is definitely a financial consideration because it's not cheap. But when we were going through this process of canceling the meeting, getting our deposit back, that was definitely something the hotel was coming back to us and asking if we had that. And we're kind of surprised that we didn't have that. We've not had it in the past. As our meeting grows, maybe something to consider. The abstracts that were submitted to us for the meeting, they are
Doppendorf on it, Terry on it, might be on it.
Sorry, was there a question? I didn't catch that.
I think just some background noise.
Okay. Yep, no worries. So the abstracts that were all submitted, we're going to publish those in veterinary surgery. We'll have a survey that's going to come out to members, or if anyone who's on this call or anyone, we can put this in the minutes as well. If there's anybody that doesn't want their abstract that was submitted to VES published, just let us know. I think it's fine, even if there's multiple publications of this abstract, because they're all less than 250 words in this particular year. We held off of publishing them in veterinary surgery just because, of ACVS, and if some of the researchers wanted to submit them elsewhere. But we're probably going to release those now, and definitely let us know if there's, questions or comments about that. So we have a bunch of new initiatives that we wanted to share with our members that we've done in this last year in 2019, 2020. First is the research committee. I have already introduced them, Doctors Balsa, Lux, and Monet, and they were tasked with creating or initiating the inaugural VES grant program and handling all of the abstract submissions for the conference. Dr. Balsa, I don't know if you wanted to chat a little bit about the grant submissions.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Dr. Singh. We had 8 grants submitted this first year, which we were very excited about as a committee. I will say that this process of both developing the grant call and as well as our kind of scoring rubric has definitely been a learning experience for the entire society and the committee. But we were very excited to award the first grant to Dr. Jackie Scott at the University of Illinois for her proposal entitled Biomechanical Comparison of Two Barb Sutures and Laparoscopic Canine Gastropexy. So we can all look forward to that abstract being presented in the future at a VES meeting. We are planning on rolling out our second grant call. The call will likely come out by August 15th of this year, so just in another 6 weeks or so. And hopefully we will be notifying the winner of that call at the beginning of December. So if you have some ideas, just kind of keep that on your timeline. And we will be sending the instructions along with the call and hopefully streamlining the process as we continue.
That's great. Thanks so much, Dr. Balsa. And, again, I wanted to thank the research committee. They've done a great job with the grant program, setting that up, and then, handling all the abstract submissions. So yeah, this is the new executive committee position that we've created. It's the outreach social media chair. What this member is going to be tasked with is, take the lead for all the social media and online marketing. It's obviously going to be integrated with the website chair for who right now is Dr. Thompson. And what we're trying to do, along with a new website, is improve our outreach to general practitioners, pet owners, even within our college, and that will be in tune with the overhaul of our website. So we're very excited for this new position, and hopefully we'll share who that person is once the nomination period's over next week. So this is another set of new executive committee positions, and it's an abstract review committee. And, this committee kind of formed from a great thing as far as we had a large number of submissions this year for our annual meeting. This is a great thing. We're very, very happy with this. What we want to do is, we also want to just expand the executive committee, but we also wanted to try to reduce the work of the research committee. We wanted to have this committee be in part responsible for reviewing abstracts, and it'll be comprised of 3 VES members. And a lot of our abstracts, they are coming from a residents, and so we also wanted to include a resident member. And so we're really hopeful that we'll have some residents interested in being involved with the VES, and that look out for the call for nominations for this committee in the fall of 2020, along with the other executive committee positions. So we briefly mentioned this. One thing we are doing is overhauling our website. We've hired a private developer. We're hopefully targeting a fall 2020 release. What we're going to do, I'll have Dr. Thompson just give us a brief update on this shortly. But what we're trying to do is, have or create some value to having an annual membership fee to the VES, and have some members only features. Yeah, Chris, do you want to take over?
Yeah, thanks. So this is something that I'm definitely super excited about. It's something that I've been working on since last fall, actually. And it's definitely a little bit of a facelift for the website. We're switching to a new web hosting service, but we're also trying to really integrate a lot more member benefits for the website in general. And so it definitely will hopefully streamline a lot of the process of scheduling and registering for the annual meeting, as well as abstract and grant submissions. The other big thing that will be great about the website is it will have a members login and a members only area. And the benefit of having a members only area is we're really trying to build out our member benefits. And so one of the biggest things that I'm working on right now is actually a entire video library that is built of videos that are kind of curated from a lot of our experts within the VES membership. So specifically going over a lot of the different procedures, as well as entry techniques, and just general endoscopic procedures. That way that we can have some good videos and content from trusted sources for our members. And that's kind of one of the first things that we're going to build in is member benefits. Other things that we're hoping to have include client information, client handouts, and then even a potentially a find a VES member. So it becomes even a way of advertising membership status to the general public.
All right, that's great. The other thing, or I shouldn't say the other thing, and another initiative that we've created this year is a webinar series. Dr. Thompson's been pivotal in setting that up. We've planned for approximately 4 to 6 webinars per year. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, there's a ton of different webinars that are being created from a variety of different sources. Right now, they're free. And, again, once we retool the website, this is going to become a member-only benefit. Hopefully that's going to be sometime, we're targeting the fall of this year. Right now, there's minimal cost to set this up, which is great. The speakers that we've had thus far have donated their time. The next webinar that we are having is, you can see the advertisement on the slide, is August 12th on advanced urogenital, and Drs. Franson, Balsa, and Dunn have kindly agreed to speak for this webinar. Chris, do you want to just briefly share some of the info on the initial webinar? That was with Drs. Mayhew, Monet, Scott, and Sanchez.
Yeah, so again, thanks for bringing up the webinars. The first one seemed to go quite well. We had some technical challenge as expected for any new endeavor like this, but we had a massive interest in the webinar, which is great, meaning over 500 people signed up. The live attendees were right around between 170 and 200 at one point. The post-event survey was pretty well received, meaning that a lot of people really enjoyed the content, and it's something that we're hoping to continue moving forward. We recorded the entire webinar. It is posted to a YouTube channel. And again, as of today, we actually had over 500 views with over 300 hours of watching the single webinar. So definitely people are interested in the content. The great thing is that, again, it is a new member benefit for members of VES. And just from the first webinar alone, we had between 80 and 90 new members that signed up for VES to become members. And so I'm really glad that it's bringing in additional specialists and veterinarians that are interested in endoscopy, and I'm hoping that that will continue as we continue to develop the webinars.
Yeah, thank you. I think the technical issues that we had, we've certainly discussed how to do that. The soft tissue group had an amazing meeting this past week, and we learned some things from their meeting. So I think we can definitely improve on that. But overall, this is a tremendous success, I think, for the society, and hopefully we gain momentum from here, not only in people signing up for the webinars, but just as far as membership goes for the society, and turns into people coming to our annual meetings and so on. So another initiative that we're going to roll out, and we're targeting September of this year, is a virtual journal club. The oncology group has been holding one I think since the pandemic started, and it's been tremendously popular. They have a I think approximately 200 people that log in. It sounds like it's a great experience. What we're planning is trying to alternate months between Journal Club and a webinar. And we've just discussed this recently. We've tried an online or a Journal Club on Facebook and the listserv, and we're thinking that a virtual Journal Club may stimulate even more interest and discussion. And so stay tuned for more details to come on that. So CE credits are, obviously we didn't have the meeting this year, but Dr. Buat did a ton of work in setting everything up for us to be RACE approved. We're planning on continuing to be RACE approved in the future. In the member survey that you'll get in the near future, we'll ask again if being RACE approved is important for you, and whether we need to consider having our webinars RACE approved as well. So definitely fill out the survey or contact us if this is an important issue for you. So financial overview, Dr. Culp, I don't know if you're on the call, if you wanted to do the next few slides.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Thanks, Amit.
Okay, awesome.
So not too much to update here. We haven't had a ton of expenditure because of the meeting. So right now in our PayPal account, we have just over 3,600. In our checking account, just over 60,000. So from that standpoint, we're doing well. And then we wanted to thank all of our sponsors. Obviously, we have a really close relationship with a lot of our sponsors and appreciate their support over all the years, in particular Medtronic and Storts and VCA and Mila and Ethicon. And then wanted to welcome Panther this year as well, a new sponsor to our group. So we were excited for the interaction we had with them prior to the meeting, and obviously we're hoping to recognize them at the meeting as well. And be able to provide some more information about what they offer. But we just want to reach out and thank them for their continued support of our society. So as far as what has been spent, we, as Amit said, we were able to get 100% of the deposit back from the Montreal hotel, and so we had to do some negotiation and chatting with them. Meet did the lion's share of that for sure, and got the deposit and everything back. The grant funding this year, as Ingrid was talking about, new exciting way for us to spend some of our money for sure. We pay to participate in the MIS issue with veterinary surgery on a yearly basis, and so that's something that will continue going from here. And then some other random things as far as the meeting with the plaques and lapel pins, website, a lot of one of the biggest expenditures going into that this year, and then as far into the future as well. We, as Chris was saying, it's something that we want to have a big focus on, and something where we feel like it's good money spent, and we're going to hopefully update it to the point where we can have a much better experience for the user. And so we're going to move forward with some further expenditure when it comes to the website as well.
Great, thanks, Bill. So looking at next year's meeting, if you haven't heard yet, the Dr. Monet is planning the World Endoscopy Conference. That's going to be in Fort Collins. I have the dates on the next slide. Obviously the pandemic has opened up a lot of opportunity for virtual meetings. I think the soft tissue group, I was able to log in a little bit, and they had a really well organized meeting. And we kind of want to hear from you all if you have any feedback for us or ideas, thoughts on future meetings. If there is going to be virtual components to meetings, it certainly opens up the opportunity for combining with other societies, whether it's soft tissue, VSSO. We've been partnered with VES since their inception, which has been a great relationship. And, we expect that will continue. It seems like that's been important for our members in recent surveys, and we will pose those questions to you all again. So the World Meeting, those are the dates, June 28th to 30th, 2021. Eric, if you're on the call, do you want to just give a quick update?
And figuring out what each of the
Yes, I can give you a quick update. Can you hear me?
Thinking about this too,
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the meeting is going to be June to 30th, 2021 at Fort Collins, and I've been in contact with the president of each of those different societies you can see on the logo here. So everybody is up to speed on this right now, and the next step now is going to collect abstracts. And the goal here is for each members to try to submit their abstract to their own society, not to the VES.
Exactly.
I mean, this World Meeting is not a VES meeting, it's for everybody.
Hey, Eric,
And-
I think there's a little bit of background from your other community.
Yeah, I know, for my other meeting going on, yeah. So here is the goal is to get all those abstracts being collected from each society individually. And I'm going to send an email very shortly to everybody to clarify that. So each of those societies should be involved into organizing this meeting as much as we can. So we're just providing the venue and the location and all that stuff to organize this meeting. We're going to get a website set up pretty soon now to be able to get registrations and all that stuff and get some general information about the meeting. So we're going to work on that within the next months, I'm pretty sure, here at CSU.
All right, that's great. Thanks, Eric. So we just wanted to briefly update members on the MIS Fellowship. That's through ACVS. The current training programs approved are at Colorado State University, University of California, Davis, University of Florida, Washington State University, and the University of Guelph. You know, the ACVS has extended the deadline for 3 years for a founding fellow status, and those details are on the ACVS site. And then those applications would be reviewed by the Small Animal Soft Tissue MIS Fellowship Committee. Dr. Balsa from University of California, Davis has submitted all of her credentials and wanted to pass along a huge congratulations for that. And we have 2 other fellows in training, Dr. Sarah Marvel at CSU and Dr. Penny Regier at UF. The VES also, as you guys know, we sponsor an MIS supplementary issue with veterinary surgery. Dr. Janet Kovac McLaren is the current associate editor for the MIS issue. It's free access for a period of time annually. You know, unfortunately, she couldn't make the call today, but she just wanted to encourage more prospective-based studies versus case reports. Those case reports might not be seen favorably with veterinary surgery as much anymore. And she was definitely open for any feedback about the issue. And so we will include this. If you have any comments, definitely send them to us, but we'll also include this question in the member survey. So finally here, we just wanted to open things up. Thank everyone for your time. Obviously, I know everyone's really busy. So for those of you that have made the call, thank you again. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions, feedback, please either fill out the survey or contact any member of the executive committee. We're hoping that we can see you guys all in person in Fort Collins in June of 2021. And I'll just open up the call if there's any other comments that anyone wants to make. All right. Well, Again, thank you guys all so much for logging in. Really appreciate everyone's time. Please consider filling out the survey that we're going to have sent around, and hope everyone stays well. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thanks.